We're going to talk about trees in this video, adding trees to your terrain. So you can see my terrain is looking pretty bland. I've got this kind of gray flat surface. I can make that a little more interesting by adding a texture, which is something we'll do in another video. And then things will look more natural. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and add trees. And this nice gray surface will make it really obvious what's going on with the trees. So let's talk about how to add trees to your terrain. So I'm going to go select my terrain up here in the hierarchy. And you'll see that among all the stuff that's attached to your terrain in the inspector, I've got this terrain script right here. And this is going to let me set everything that has to do with the terrain. So I can raise and lower it, I can adjust heights, and I can add trees, and I can add other stuff like that. So you see there's actually these buttons right up at the top here, and if I click through them, they do different things, and you can see what they do listed right below. So this one right here raises and lowers the terrain. This one right here lets you paint the height. This one right here lets you smooth height, stuff like that. And the one that I want is this one over here with a picture of some trees, and it's called Place Trees. You'll see right below there's some instructions for what you can do to erase trees, but we don't really want to erase trees. We actually want to add new ones. So right now, if you look under trees, it says no trees defined. So if I go to try to add trees over here, I don't have any trees to add. So actually I have to choose the tree that I want to add. And to do that, if I open up this Edit Trees menu, I've got this Add Tree option, and that's what I want. So I'm going to click Add Tree, and it says please assign a tree. Well, I think I will do just that. Now I'm going to go under Tree, and you see I have none selected right now. That's why I wasn't able to add trees before. But if I click this little circle button here, I'm going to get a window with all my possible trees in it. Now you might have imported some trees, or you might not have imported trees. I didn't import anything. So all I have is this default palm tree. It's the only one that's in there by default. So I'm going to select that. And now you'll see it says palm right here under Add Tree, and I can click Add. And now in my little tree box here, I've got palm. And now when I paint on my terrain here by holding down the mouse button, voila, trees. You can even zoom in and see them. They look all nice. We'll adjust some of the settings in a second, but there you go. There's your trees, looking very uniform. Let me get a nice view so I can actually see these things. There we go. And now right down here under there, you're going to see, under the tree selection box, you're going to see these settings, and here are all the options to make your trees a little more interesting. So I can change my brush size, maybe have a smaller area of trees. I can change my tree density, so maybe I don't have quite as many trees in the area that I'm painting. That's a little bit more obvious when I increase my brush size, so these trees are not as dense as these trees. Got some color variation, so maybe I'll have a bunch of different colored trees. You can't really see that well from up here. Some tree height that I can adjust, so maybe if I make those trees smaller. Can't really see from here, but they are a little smaller. In fact, I'll zoom in. There's your smaller trees, you see them? I've got some tree width. What does that look like? Oops. Tree width. Can't tell if those trees are actually wider, but I'm going to go ahead and assume they are. And I can adjust variations, so maybe I'll have, a bunch of different looking trees if I don't want all the trees to look the same. And those are all the options for your trees. So you can go ahead and insert some trees into your project, check it out, see if you can get the trees looking the way you want. If you do want to remove them after you've got them in there, right up here under Place Trees, there's your instructions for how to do that. So you would hold Shift to erase trees, and you would hold Control to erase the selected tree type. So go ahead and play around with that and see what you can do. Have fun.